Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here in June. A very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. That made my ears ring. Welcome back to Big Mouth and welcome to Thursday's edition of the dceu Daily. If you're feeling charitable, please smash the subscribe button. Please smash the like button and let's get started. Yesterday was April Fool's Day and some joker decided to do this. Yes, they created their very, very own HBO Max official account, has the total bio of the official account, very convincing, with this pinned tweet. You asked for it, we listen. We're releasing the Zack Snyder's Justice League as a launch title for HBO Max on May 2020. 214 minutes in 4K resolution, he will rise. Hilarious. But HBO, seriously though, Warner Media have got a new CEO. And Screen Rant have done an article about it. New Warner Media CEO is liking release the Snyder Cut tweet. So let's just click on that and see what's being said. New Warner Media CEO is liking Snyder Cut tweets. Jason Kilar, the new CEO of Warner Media, he's a very good man, by the way. I'm very excited about this appointment, has been conspicuously liking Justice League Snyder Cut related tweets. The internet has become obsessed with director Zack Snyder's unseen version of Justice League since the movie released in 2017. To this day, it's arguably the most controversial DCEU film, originally set to be solely led by Snyder, the director, and dropped out before production was complete, leaving well-known director Joss Whedon to finish the job. Result was a disappointment to critics and audiences alike. An online movement immediately formed around the so-called Snyder Cut, which would theoretically restore the film to the director's initial vision. Kylar, I think that's how you say his name, or Kilar, an Erstwhistle Amazon executive and co-founder of Hulu. Yes, he is the co-founder of Hulu, so he's a very clever man. Now has a job overseeing the operations of HBO, Warner Brothers and Turner Television Networks, among other outlets. This includes film franchises like Harry Potter, Sherlock Holmes and the DCEU. The recent slate of films based on DC Comics have run the gamut in terms of critical and commercial success, with the latest title Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn earning strong reviews before surprisingly underperforming at the box office. Right, Screen Rant, you're doing it again. No, not a surprise. Little film made a little profit, but it was good. It made a profit, right? End of. Kyler doesn't take up the mantle of Warner Media CEO until May the 1st, but he's already making his presence known on the internet through his Twitter account. However, it's not so much about what he's posting, but about which posts he's liking on the social media site. Through his actions on Twitter, Jason Kylar has seemingly supported or at least acknowledged the Snyder Cut of Justice League. On a Twitter thread announcing the appointment of Kylar as Warner Media CEO, user Affleck Bruce replied with a request for Kylar to release the Snyder Cut. The tweet was screen grabbed by another Twitter user, Sir John Aaron. Yeah, John Aaron Garza, we all know him, who pointed out Kylar had liked it. Kylar then liked that tweet as well. Check out the original tweet and screen grab below. Oh man, this guy. Warner Media announces Jason Kylar as new CEO. Right. Batfleck forever. Hey Jason Kylar, congratulations. Now release the Snyder Cut. Big congratulations to Jason Kylar on the new Warner Media promotion. I think he knows what he's doing. It's likely that Kylar's Twitter actions might not amount to anything relevant, but Snyder Cut advocates are justified in clinging to any hope they can get. This includes the prospect of a Blu-ray release like the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2, to the far-flung idea that Snyder's vision of Justice League might be revived in the form of an HBO Max release. Nobody can say for sure if there's any future for the Snyder Cut, but as long as there is hope and a rabid fan base for Snyder's work, the iconic heroes of DC Comics, those in the Release the Snyder Cut movement, will continue to make their voices heard. We absolutely will. This type of Twitter interaction is nothing new, as requests for the Snyder Cut are plastered all over virtually anything, even tangentially related to Warner Brothers. Nevertheless, the tweet was liked by none other than Kyler himself, signifying he's fully aware of the fan demand for the nigh mythical Snyder Cut. At the very least, fans now know the Snyder Cut of Justice League has one very influential fan. Let's get this abundantly clear. When Snyder was removed, not left because of the tragic suicide of his daughter that happened some time before he was removed, by the way. Okay? Let's get that clear. Let's talk about this. You know what they're realizing now, Warner Brothers? There are millions of people around the world who love Zack Snyder's work, pre-DCEU, but especially DCEU. Millions of fans around the world. We're all part of this global movement. RT Snyder Cut has organised Twitter event after Twitter event, right? Millions of people hashtagging and, release the Snyder Cut. There's one thing that Jason Kyler knows, that we all know. And now, what Warner Brothers didn't realise, there is money to be made from Zack Snyder and DC films and DC content. This has now gone far beyond just releasing the Snyder Cut, which is definitely going to happen. Why is this guy liking tweets, right? He wouldn't be liking tweets if nothing was going to happen. No, he's liking those tweets because he knows it's happening. It is happening. Why do you think Zack Snyder did that little tease at the end of his shot-by-shot commentary on BVS? He knows it's coming. He's teasing us. Oh, they should do a sequel to that film. Right? These are blatant words from him. Blatant words, right? It's coming. The Snyder Cut is coming. There is no question about it. And I'll reiterate what I've just said. Warner Brothers now understand, because of us, because of this movement, because of people like Chris Wong Svensson, because of people like the Screen Junkie, right? Because of people like Sir Aaron Garza, or however you say the lad's name, right? There's a movement out there, and it's not just them, it's you and me. They know that Snyder is a talent, that he's a rare talent. But before, they felt they couldn't. It's not they don't like Zack or they don't respect him. They felt they had to remove him to actually make money from this IP. They now realise that this IP can make money with him on board. Now, what does that mean? I don't think we will ever go back to Zack Snyder running the whole franchise. But I do believe, like the theory about an HBO DC kind of arc for Zack Snyder, but even in the movies, they can give him something, right? He should at least be able to finish his vision. And nothing, and I say nothing, out of the films from the DCEU released since Zack's left contradict that vision. He can still come back. We can see his Justice League. We can see Justice League 2, Justice League 3, a Man of Steel sequel. These things can happen, right? It's always going to be divisive. But even without him, we saw that Birds of Prey had a divisive reaction, right? Because of the ultra-left leaning messages, right? So we know there's controversy without Zack anyway. We know that DC films can not make as much as some people think they should, like Birds of Prey, without Zack. Zack gave us two very, very unique DC films. And they now know there's money to be made from this man. It isn't just the fandom or the movement anymore. There's other people demanding it. There's blue ticks, verified accounts after verified accounts I talk to, who I DM message, who I retweet, actually publicly stating their support for the Snyder Cut. People who have never spoken to Zack Snyder before. We're not even talking about the cast anymore. There's proper support for this. And this takes me to my next subject. Tomorrow would have been the day, April the 3rd, that the Cyborg movie would have been released with Ray Fisher as Cyborg, right? Wow. What a film that would have been. Who knows who was going to direct that? Would have Zack done that personally? Or would it have been another director? Who knows? But it was coming. There was a plan. There was a slate. Zack had a plan. And when they removed him from Justice League, they deleted that plan. But interestingly, within the films we've seen, the 2 films we've seen so far, or the 3 films, nothing contradicts Zack's world. Not really. You look at Shazam. Actually, I'm going to read you some stuff from David, who directed Shazam, because he did a live tweet along while everyone was watching Shazam on Twitter yesterday, and he had a lot of interesting things to say. We're going to talk about that, but Shazam gives us loads of MOS and BVS Easter eggs. It's like they've been hedging their bets. They removed him. It's like they removed him to see what would happen. Kevin Sujihara removed him because he didn't want him there. He felt he was a problem. So they got rid of him, and they did this 2-hour MCU. Basically, the Justice League theatrical cut is a parody of the MCU. It doesn't really do what the MCU does. I like certain elements. I like the race between Barry and Superman at the end. That's brilliant. There are some good elements. It's not a good film. It's a Frankenstein's monster. It's like pieces of a film from one person and other pieces from another person, and it simply doesn't work. And that's why it flopped. So what kind of film would Cyborg have been? I think we would have seen an amazing emotional origin story, seeing that Ray Fisher is such a good, proficient actor, as we saw in the theatrical cut of Justice League. The guy playing his father is an amazing actor. I think we would have had a great cast. It would have really worked. I think it would have made money. I think it would have got good reviews. A Cyborg movie is right, and it still needs to happen. If we can get Zack back in this game of continuing to do what he was going to do. But I genuinely do think that the Cyborg movie would have been amazing. But right now, I'm in the frame of mind, and it's a positive frame of mind, considering we're in a global pandemic and we're all locked at home, right? My mood on this is very, 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 very positive. I think a Snyder Cut is happening, and there's no doubt. And don't let anyone tell you any different. Comment down below, like, share and subscribe. Let's make this channel popular. Let's get other channels talking about this popular as well. I'll see you tomorrow with even more DCEU Daily. See you again soon.